All right. The letter T is for Training Day. Starring Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke and directed by Antoine Fuqua. I love that name. Antoine Fuqua. I love that name. Even when I was little, I didn't even know who that was. I heard that name and I was like, Antoine Fuqua. I like to say it a lot. I like that name, man. And I like this movie. The story tells of two cops, one a police detective named Alonzo Harris, who's training in a new recruit for the narcotics division named Jake Hoyt, played by Ethan Hawke. Hoyt is fresh-faced and new in this world, and he soon comes to realize not everything is black and white. First of all, a little history, as I like to do with the movies that I review if I have history with them. This came out back in 2001 when I was in middle school. And I remember one of my teachers, he, as a joke, said, try to get people to go on this field trip. He was like, hey, are you going on this field trip? Because we used to get the buses where they put the VHS tapes in and watch movies. Say, hey, go on this field trip. I hear they're going to watch Training Day. And me, because, I guess I couldn't take a joke at that point. I had to, I was kind of literal. I have that kind of thing. I said, well, it's still in theaters, and it's rated R, so we can't. And he's like, shh. He's trying to get him to go. After watching this, I do not think this would be appropriate. Play on a bus full of middle school kids. I'm just saying. And even watching this, okay, I liked this movie. I enjoyed it, but they say the N-word a lot. And me, I've listened to a lot of rap music back in the day, Nelly, stuff like that, where they use that word in there, And so I'm desensitized to it, I don't mind hearing it, like in music and movies and stuff like that, But they said it so much, and you understand, I have some African American neighbors, that couple doors down the hall or next door, somewhere down the hallway. I have some African American neighbors. I was afraid they were going to hear it, so I turned down the volume a little bit because I didn't. You know how many times Denzel Washington says the N-word in this movie? I lost count. It's so many. But yeah. And Denzel Washington won the Oscar for this movie. And I can see why. His performance is fantastic. Both men are fantastic. They're both nominated and Denzel won. Both men are fantastic. I love cop movies and cop TV shows. This was up my alley. So yeah, and it takes place over 24 hours, which is a big plus for the film. I think it's a big positive for the film. You see the progression of one day in these men's lives, right? Where it's not just, this happened the other day. No, it happened within the same day. So stuff is fresh. It's in your mind, all in one day. Everything is fresh in the mind of the people here, and it all interconnects. Like, earlier in the film, Jake stops these two gang members from raping this woman, and she drops her wallet, and that comes back into play later, which it's going to, because he found her wallet. What's that gonna lead into? He gives it in his pocket. Bring it up, and that does come back later. So so they, we start with Jake. He is leaving his wife and kid to go to work, and he meets up with Alonzo, who's just like a gang member, I guess, in this diner where they have some dialogue. He's trying to read his paper, but Jake won't stop talking, so they go out and they end up busting these two guys for marijuana. And the first thing that I thought when I saw this is, boy, the times are changing. I mean, it's still illegal in Minnesota where I live, but like in most states, it's legal. I think in California, where this takes place, it's legal now. So if this took place in California now, that would be such a big deal. You know? And so he forces him at gunpoint to, you know, smoke the marijuana from a pipe. And he finds out that it's laced with PCP, which I'm not sure if it was already laced. We find out that some of this was set up, and I'm wondering, did he set up the people with the weed? I don't know. I really don't know. But anyway, so he forces him to take it. He does, or to smoke it, and he does. And yeah, he gets all messed up. And they meet Roger, which will come back later. Say, you know, that's my man over there. That's my boy. It's Roger. He's an ex-cop. You know, and it's implied he might be the crook, the Sandman. But we don't know. And then they take off again, and that's where you see he stops the attempted rape. And then he takes him to his apartment, meets his mistress, played by a young Eva Mendes. But this is when this come out in 2001. So this was this around the same time as Urban Legends Final Cut, which she was also in. Oh, they do accost this wheelchair-bound man played by Snoop Dogg, who is not selling marijuana, which is, you know, against typecast, I guess, for Snoop, but instead it's crack. And he got crack rocks in his mouth or in his stomach. I don't know exactly. Like, he sticks something in his throat and he pukes it out. So was he holding it? I don't know where it was, but yeah. And this is the point they're kind of getting along, but he sees his tactics, and then he meets the three wise men, which are all like crooked cops. One of them played by Peter Green, who you may know as Dorian Tyrell from The Mask, and it was nice to see him in this. He's not in much, but it was nice to see him. Hey, Galloway. I like that. So, yeah, they go back to Rogers, and Alonzo tries to get Jake to shoot him. He won't do it, so Alonzo shoots himself, killing him. And then they set it up to make it look like they busted down the door, because there's like $4 million in there. So they make it look like they busted down the door, and it's Dorian Tyrell. He takes Peter Green. You came in, and Roger shot at you. He got 2 shots off, so he shoots him twice. One of them getting him, and one just on the Kevlar there, and trying to get Jake to go along with it. He won't, so he turns the rifle on him, which now they can actually say that it was him because his prints are on there, but Alonzo's are also, and he won't do it. But then Alonzo reveals, hey, they could do those routine drug tests. You can turn us in, but they do those routine drug tests, and you'll be under arrest. You'll be in jail, for doing the PCP. He's kind of forced to cooperate, and the cops come, and everything goes down the with it. Alonzo wanted, and then Alonzo drops him off at Smiley's place, played by Cliff Curtis, who I've seen play so many different ethnicities. He's Australian or New Zealand, whatever. I've seen him play British. I've seen him play Samoan. Here he plays Mexican, and with him is Raymond Cruz, Tuco from Breaking Bad, and Hector from the Fast and Furious movies, which is cool to see them. And this is where the wallet comes back in. They have him there, and Alonzo's like, I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'm back. And you hear a car starting, but you don't think about it until Smiley goes to the window and says, there's nothing out there for you, man. There's not you out there for you, Issy. He's like, what do you mean? He looks out the window. He's gone. He left him there, and they're gonna kill him. But Hector, I'm gonna call him that, decides, hey, I'm gonna get his wallet. So he pulls out the wallet, which is the cousin, ends up being of the woman that he saved from being raped. It turns out to be Smiley's cousin, and I started laughing because even after Hector found out it was Smiley's cousin, he still takes the money. So I was laughing. I was like, but he still took the money though. Who knows? But yeah, that made me laugh. But yeah, and so he calls up his cousin and finds out what happens, and he lets him go. Then we get the final showdown. Because for some reason, we do find out that the reason Alonzo wanted the money is because he's got to pay off the Russian mafia because he killed one of their men. So my big question is, he's got till midnight. Why the fuck hasn't he paid them off? He has the money, but instead goes back to bang his mistress, right? Why? You have the money. This is my one hiccup with the film. The only thing that got me scratching my head and be like, nah, no, why? He staged this whole thing to get the $4 million so that he can go and pay off his million, right? Right? So why doesn't he? The answer is so that he could be gunned down later. But it doesn't make sense in the context of the character. He got that money because he wanted to pay off his debts. So why didn't he? It doesn't work for me. Like, there's no way it's like, okay, I got the money, I'll pay off the Russian. Yeah, I'll go bang my old lady. Let's do this. No, that doesn't make any sense. It's close to midnight. He thinks he's in the clear. He thinks Smiley's going to take care of Jake. So he's freaking in the clear. The money is his. Pay off the mafia and then go bang your old lady, man. Why? The only thing I can think of is because they need to have that shootout at the end. And if he pays it before then, it won't be a shootout. You could have the gang members do. But here's the thing. The gang members are holding him up at gunpoint and Jake walks off. You could have the gang members kill him. You don't need to have the Russian people do it. Because, think about this. Wouldn't that be a better ending? Like, hey man, I paid off my debts. I ain't got no goddamn money. You can't prove I ever took no goddamn money. I paid off my debts. I'm free and clear. I'm a free man. But then the gang member picks up the gun. Jake walks. And I've heard that originally he was going to get away with it. And maybe that played in part of it. Maybe they're like, okay, he could die, but maybe it's like, he was originally going to get away with it, but Denzel Washington said he wouldn't do the role unless he got his comeuppance. So maybe that was their compromise. Maybe like, okay, we'll have the gang members, we'll have the Russian gang gun him down. But it still doesn't make any sense as to why he wouldn't have already paid him off. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe he thinks, I got the money, I'll just tell him I got the money, but I guess it doesn't work. It's the only big hiccup of this film that keeps it from being perfect in my eyes, because it's too confusing. Why didn't he pay them off? It's frustrating to me. But everything else in this film was fantastic. The performance, the action scenes, the cinematography, the fact that they actually filmed in areas that had never had a camera in them before. Those extras with the gang, real gang members. You even have Terry Crews in this. It's one of his first roles. And Dr. Dre, I think, plays one of the three wise men cops. So, yeah, it's a fantastic film. I'm going to say it's pretty good. But, yeah, highly recommend. Denzel definitely deserved that Oscar for this. Fantastic. Denzel Washington captured his second Academy Award playing Alonzo Harris. and he deserves it. I've heard that it's been said that this is his best performance, and I can't deny that. What's the other one he won the Oscar for? I don't remember. But this was fantastic. So there's T. And like I said, the only thing that stops it from being perfect is that little hiccup of he should have already paid it off. And I'm pretty sure that was, switched around because he couldn't get away with it. And if he paid it off, then died, he still technically got away with the money, I guess. So maybe that was that, but I don't know. It's just confusing. But yeah, so now we're on You. And one last time, we're going to go back to the world of Jean-Claude Van Damme. And you think about it, there's only one movie with Van Damme that has a U in it. Well, there's a few, but I have to start at the first one, right? Till then, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.